We've got a question, our question and answer section, and we've got a question from Agnes from Sheboygan. And the question is, when we pass over, when we cross over, when we die, what do we look like? Now, when you actually pass over into spirit, and this is my philosophy, seems to me, and some of the information that I've gotten, when you cross over, you're just energy. The energy leaves the meat suit, your meat suit stays here, and you either bury it or cremate it. Your choice. And the energy passes over, passes through to the other side. And normally the way they will come through to their loved ones the way the loved ones remembered them.
And recognize them.
And recognize them. Now they'll come through as the age that they passed, or they will come through younger. They will appear to be younger, but any ailments and any things that they had when they passed over will no longer be affecting them. For example, when I do readings, if a deceased loved one lost a limb, then they will first appear to me without the limb so that I have some information to give the client to validate the spirit. But they generally don't, if they cross over without a limb, they generally, if they're coming through human, they'll have their limbs again on the other side. And that is pretty basic.
Yeah, because
how they pass over.
I know when you've done readings, they will come through with, like you said, an ailment, whether it be cancer, but it's not because they still have it. It's just so to get the information across, and that's what people are going to recognize.
Yeah, and the bottom line is that whatever gives you peace, that's what you go for. If you want to believe that they're happy, then believe that they're happy. Because everybody who crosses over...
But we want to know they're happy.
Well, everybody who crosses over is happy. And that's the bottom line. I mean, they go through a process when they cross over, depending on how they live their lives. But they come across, when you're able to communicate with them, they come across to let you know that they're fine. And that everything is, it's all good.
Okay, yeah, we have Gertrude from Hoboken. Okay, so then what happens when we have ghosts or people that don't cross, or they hang around from... Because I know that a lot of times if somebody has an addiction...
Yes.
Or they hang out in bars a lot of times, because that's so familiar to them, they hang out. So what happens to them?
Well, the bottom line is, Archangel Michael and the spirits that be, that gather these souls, will find them eventually. And the bottom line with anybody crossing over with fear, if you cross over with fear, like if you think that you didn't live your life the right way, people who abused other people before they crossed, people who are very tied in, left-wing, religious nut jobs will cross over in fear. And the bottom line is, spirit guides and ascended masters like Christ, like Buddha, like Archangel Michael, they love you unconditionally. But if you cross over in fear, that part of you doesn't feel it deserves anything better, so a lot of these souls will wander around until they're found.
Because they're afraid they're going to be judged because of the dogma that they bought into when they were here on this dimension.
Yes.
Because what we have found, everything's about choice again. They are still surrounded by love, but a lot of times they won't see that because of the fear. And so they end up being stuck on this dimension, which in Earth years might seem like hundreds of years, but in their time it doesn't seem like any time has passed. So it is about choices, and if they choose to open up, and sometimes it does take a medium or somebody else to help explain to them that yes, going into the light, they're so afraid that they're going to be judged, because this is what we're taught in a lot of religions, is that you're going to go to hell if you've done this, that, and the other. And they know they've done this, that, and the other, so they're thinking, well, I'm going to stay here because I know what this is, and I don't want to go to hell. And so, yeah, people can get stuck, but those prayers do make a difference. That people that pray for those that have crossed over, it does make a difference. And so praying...
forgiveness is what it's, compassion and forgiveness. If you can forgive the person who crossed over, that releases them into their greatest and highest good. Plus it releases you also in this plane. Next week's show, we're going to be doing a live past life regression.
No way.
Way.
Awesome.
And we're going to be explaining past life regression, the purpose of it for healing, and the purpose of it for re-remembering tools and re-remembering things that you can use in your current life, and re-remembering relationships that you have.
Your favorite topic.
My favorite topic. That you have in this particular lifetime, why you keep getting into crappy relationships, why you keep getting pulling in negative energy around you. Could be connected to past life energy and all of that. Plus, a brand new Ass Hat of the Week award. And I want to give some props to our phenomenal editor and producer, Chris Corbett. Not Ronnie Corbett, the other one.
The other Corbett?
It's an English joke, people
Oh.
will get it. The
Sorry.
show is called The Two Ronnies, and they say, you're Ronnie Corbett, you don't know the other one. So, with that, please go to our website, psychicravenproductions.com and thedocsworld.com for any updated information.
What about
And we
Pure
will
Heart
have, and pureheartspace.com.
.com.
That's where you go if you want to follow your path and you want information on how to do that. Pure Heart Space, go sign up there, and all the tools, meditations.
But here's the
Folks.
interesting, I think, again, we did this on the original website for Andrew when he was in the hospital. So on Pure Heart Space, in the forum there, Andrew, Pure Heart, will be answering your questions.
Yes.
So if you have any questions, except for the lottery numbers, people, please, go there and you'll get some, and it'll be interesting because you can see other people's questions and the answers that you are getting from an evolved, enlightened being from the other side. And I have to say, it's kind of cool having such an evolved being, an ascended master that was our son. And you know what? And that's the other thing we'll be talking about in upcoming shows. He's not the only one. There are other children here, and the adults need to wake up and start supporting our kids and not medicating them and giving them the environment to just be who they came here to be. It is the best gift you can give any child, no matter who they are.
So with that, we'll be signing off. And remember, it's all good.
It's all good, it's all good, even when things don't work out like they should. It's all good, it's all good, let these words create a better mood. When you feel you're being robbed of your successes,